Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, let me ask you something right now. What would you do if fear didn't exist? Think about it. What would you attempt? What risks would you take? What dreams would you chase if you had no fear? Fear is the greatest thief of potential. It robs you of your gifts. It silences your voice. It holds your future hostage. It whispers lies in your ear. You're not good enough. You'll fail. What will they think of you? But let me tell you something loud and clear. Fear is a liar. Fear is not your protector. It is not your friend. It is not your guide. Fear is a prison built inside your mind. And every day you allow it to live rent-free in your heart is a day you delay your destiny. So today, I want to say to you, have no fear. That doesn't mean life will be easy. That doesn't mean you always know the path ahead. That doesn't mean you won't feel nervous or uncertain. But it means you will not be ruled by it. You will not bow to it. You will not surrender your dreams because of it. Fear is natural, but courage is a decision. You see, the most successful people in the world, the most fulfilled, the most joyful, they didn't get there because they were never afraid. They got there because they decided that their purpose was more powerful than their fear. They faced the storm. They heard the noise, but they walked forward anyway. And so must you. Let me tell you, the dream in your heart, the vision in your soul, the calling on your life, it matters. You were not created by accident. You are not here just to pay bills and die. You are here to grow, to rise, to make a difference. And that means you're going to have to face fear head on. You may be afraid of rejection, but have no fear, because rejection is simply redirection. You may be afraid of failure, because rejection is simply redirection. You may be afraid of failure, but have no fear, because every failure carries the seeds of a comeback. You may be afraid you're not enough, but have no fear, because greatness is not about being perfect. It's about being persistent. You've already survived your worst days. You've already endured things you thought would break you. And yet you're still here, stronger than you know, wiser than before, still breathing, still standing, still capable of more than you can imagine. So why let fear stop you now? Do you want to look back one day, years from now, and say, I let fear hold me back? Or do you want to say, I stood up, I spoke out, I tried, I fought, I dared to believe in something greater, and I lived fully? The choice is yours. Fear will try to paralyze you. It will make you second guess every move. But I want you to declare today, I am not my fear. I am my fire. And I want you to declare today, I am not my fear. I am there is a fire inside you, a light this world needs. But that fire doesn't burn bright when you're hiding. It burns when you step out, when you speak up, when you push through. You might say, but I've never done this before. So what? Everything great starts with inexperience. Every master was once a beginner. Every expert was once scared. Every leader once stood where you stand, unsure, uncertain, afraid, but they chose growth over comfort, courage over fear, and purpose over doubt. And now it's your turn. Look around you. The world is full of people who settled, people who gave into fear and called it being realistic. But realism without vision is just another name for fear. Don't settle for a small life. Don't play it safe just because fear tells you it's dangerous to dream big. You've got something powerful in you. Maybe it's a business idea, a book, a message, a mission, a movement, a calling to lead. a desire to help others, whatever it is. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the fear to go away. It won't. What changes is you. You grow stronger than your fear. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's taking action in spite of it. Every time you take a step forward, the fear gets weaker. Every time you speak up, it shrinks. Every time you move anyway, you prove to yourself that you're more powerful than you thought. No more playing small. No more waiting for the perfect time. No more hiding behind what if. Your life is not meant to be a story of what could have been. Make it a story of bold choices, brave moments, and beautiful risks. Have no fear, because the truth is, fear only has the power you give it. Take it back. Stand up. Step forward. Speak your truth. Build the dream. Live the life that's calling you. It won't be easy. It won't always feel safe, but it will be worth it. Because when you look back, you won't remember the times you played it safe. You'll remember the times you chose to be brave. So whatever you're facing today, whatever mountain you're staring at, whatever dream you're holding in your heart, fear has a voice. It speaks in silence, in hesitation, in doubt. It whispers in the back of your mind when you're about to take a bold step. What if you fail? What if they laugh? What if you're not ready? It wears many faces: nervousness, anxiety, overthinking, but at its core, it's all the same. Fear trying to protect you by keeping you small. But here's what you need to understand. Fear doesn't tell the truth. It tells the version of the story that keeps you from stepping into your power. Fear's job is survival, not growth. It's trying to keep you alive, not help you thrive. It sees risk and immediately interprets it as danger, even when that risk is exactly what you need to take to grow. Fear will exaggerate the consequences. It'll make the fall seem higher, the failure more painful, the rejection more personal. It wants you to stay where it's safe, familiar, and predictable. But the problem is, safety doesn't lead to fulfillment. Comfort zones are beautiful only until they start to suffocate you. You weren't born to stay stuck. You weren't created to be average. There is more inside you, and fear knows that. Now, contrast that with purpose. Purpose doesn't shout. It calls. It doesn't panic or pressure. It patiently waits for you to listen. Purpose doesn't shrink when fear grows louder. In fact, purpose becomes clearest in the face of fear. When fear says you can't, purpose says you must. When fear says stay back, purpose says step forward. Purpose isn't about comfort, it's about meaning. It's the inner compass that points you toward your potential, even when the path is uncertain. Every person has a purpose, a reason for being here. Not just to exist, but to contribute, to create, to lead, to inspire. And when you get in touch with that purpose, when you begin to feel that pull, that fire, that unshakable why, something shifts. You realize that your life isn't just about avoiding pain, it's about pursuing impact. Fear will try to convince you that your past defines you, that your mistakes disqualify you, that your imperfections make you unworthy. But purpose doesn't care about your resume. Purpose doesn't check credentials. It looks at your heart. It looks at your hunger. It looks at your willingness to try, to fail, to rise again. When you start living from purpose instead of fear, everything changes. You speak differently. You walk with more confidence. You take bolder steps, not because the fear is gone, but because you've learned that the voice of fear is not the voice of truth. You realize that fear is an imposter, loud, dramatic, but hollow. It sounds real, it feels real, but it is not the final word. Truth lives in your purpose. It lives in that place inside you that knows you're meant for more. It lives in the quiet strength that rises when you stop waiting to feel ready and start moving in faith. Fear loses its power when purpose takes the lead. Fear is part of being human. It is hardwired into our system to warn us, to protect us, to alert us of danger. It shows up when something matters, when the outcome is uncertain, when we stand at the edge of the unfamiliar. Some people think that being courageous means having no fear at all, that somehow the brave ones are fearless. But the truth is, the bravest people are often the ones who feel fear deeply and move anyway. Real courage is when your hands tremble, your voice shakes, your heart races, and still you take the step. It's when your mind is filled with doubts, your path is unclear, the risk feels heavy, and still you lean in. It's not that the fear disappears, it's that you refuse to give it control. You feel the fear, acknowledge it, but you choose to act from your values, not your emotions. Courage is what carries you through moments of pressure. It's what gets you up again after failure, after heartbreak, after rejection. Courage doesn't guarantee success, but it guarantees movement. It's what keeps you from being stuck in what is and instead moves you toward what's possible. Without courage, talent stays hidden. Without courage, dreams stay dormant. Without courage, potential remains untouched. Every person faces fear. The difference lies in how they respond to it. Some let fear decide their steps. Others feel the same fear, but allow purpose to lead. They don't wait until the fear goes away. They go with it, through it, beyond it. They understand that the goal is not to remove fear, but to rise above it. Courage grows in motion. Every time you act in spite of fear, you expand your capacity to handle discomfort. You become more resilient, more grounded, more powerful. You start to realize that fear is not the wall, it's the test. And courage is the key that opens the way forward. This principle applies everywhere, in relationships, in leadership, in creativity, in change. Whether you're starting a business, ending a toxic habit, standing up for what's right, or simply choosing to be your authentic self in a world that pressures conformity, courage is required. Not once, not just in a single moment, but again and again. Courage is the quiet voice that says, try again, when everything in you wants to give up. It's the strength to speak your truth, even when it's unpopular. It's the decision to grow when it's easier to settle. It's showing up when it would be more comfortable to stay hidden. It's taking responsibility when it would be easier to shift blame. You don't have to feel confident to be courageous. Courage often shows up before confidence ever arrives. In fact, it is through courageous action that confidence is born. Every brave step you take, no matter how small, builds the foundation of inner belief. You realize that you're more capable than you thought, more equipped than you assumed, and more powerful than fear had you believed. Fear often exaggerates the consequences, but courage reveals the truth. You begin to see that the failure wasn't fatal, that the judgment didn't break you, that the risk was worth it. And in that process, courage becomes not just an act, but a mindset, a way of life. Courage is not about being reckless. It's not about ignoring fear. It's about choosing your response to it. It's about taking a breath, standing tall, and doing the thing you were called to do, even when your voice shakes. Even when the outcome is uncertain, even when it scares you, that is the essence of courage. Every person has a dream. It may be bold or quiet, clear or still forming, but it lives inside. An image, a voice, a vision of something more. It's the spark that keeps returning no matter how much time passes or how often life gets in the way. But along with that dream, doubt often arrives, uninvited and loud. Doubt questions everything. It challenges your worth, your skills, your timing. It makes you second guess what you already know deep down, that your dream matters. Doubt is not always a scream. Sometimes it's a whisper, a silent hesitation that grows in moments of vulnerability. It says things like, maybe you're not ready, or you're too late, or others are better than you. It builds stories based on your past, your failures, your insecurities. And over time, those stories become walls. But the truth is, those walls are made of fear, not fact. And your dream is still there, waiting behind them. A dream doesn't disappear because of doubt. It may dim for a while. It may get buried under responsibilities, opinions, or failures, but it doesn't die. A true dream is rooted in purpose. It's connected to something deeper than just success or recognition. It's connected to who you are meant to become. That kind of dream is bigger than every doubt you will ever face. Doubt tries to limit you based on your current capacity. It looks at your present and tells you that you're not qualified. But dreams don't rely on where you are. They pull you toward who you can be. They stretch you. They challenge you. They demand growth. They are not here to fit into your comfort zone. They are meant to break it wide open. When doubt rises, remember that it is not evidence of truth. It is a sign that you are stepping into something significant. If your dream didn't matter, doubt wouldn't bother you. The louder the doubt, the closer you are to something meaningful. The key is not to eliminate doubt, but to keep moving despite it. You don't need to have every answer before you start. You don't need to feel 100% certain. You just need to trust that the dream inside you was placed there for a reason. Every person you admire, every story that inspires you was shaped by someone who felt doubt and still moved forward. They didn't wait until they felt worthy. They didn't wait until the fear left. They made the decision to honor their dream, even in the face of uncertainty. And step by step, belief began to grow. Momentum began to build. Confidence was forged in action, not in waiting. Your dream doesn't require perfection. It requires presence. It requires commitment. It requires faith, not blind faith in outcomes, but deep faith in your calling. Doubt may ask, what if it doesn't work? But your dream asks, what if it does? Doubt fixates on risk. Your dream focuses on impact. You were not given a dream to tease you. You were given a dream to stretch you into the version of yourself that can carry it. It's not about being fearless. It's about being faithful to what you believe is possible. Every time you choose to feed the dream instead of the doubt, you shift the direction of your life. Doubt may visit, but it does not have to lead. Let your dream lead. Let it speak louder. Let it take up more space in your thoughts, in your plans, in your actions. Your dream was not meant to be buried under the weight of what ifs and not yet. It was meant to rise. There is nothing ordinary about your existence. The very fact that you are here alive at this moment in time means you carry something unique, something the world hasn't seen before and will never see again. You are created with potential that exceeds your understanding. And every breath you take is a reminder that there is more in you than you've allowed yourself to believe. But somewhere along the way, life may have taught you to shrink, to fit in, to be safe, to dim your light so others wouldn't feel uncomfortable. You were told to be realistic, to stop dreaming so big, to wait your turn. And maybe you listened. Maybe you settled. Maybe you chose comfort over courage. But that voice inside you, the one that still whispers, the one that still imagines, the one that still wants more, it hasn't died. It's waiting for you to wake up to who you really are. Playing small doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve your family, your community, or the world. It may feel easier. It may even look like humility. But hiding your gifts is not humility. It's fear in disguise. You were given talents, ideas, insights, and energy that are not meant to be buried. You are meant to create, lead, inspire, build, and shine. You are designed for expansion, not limitation. When you choose to play small, you build a life around safety instead of significance. You say no to possibilities before they even have a chance to show you what could be. You avoid risk and call it wisdom. You silence your voice and call it maturity. But deep down, you know you're meant for more. You can feel it when you see others step into their calling. You feel it when you look at your dreams and wonder why you haven't pursued them. You feel it in the quiet moments when you're alone with your thoughts and that gentle ache rises, reminding you of what you've put on hold. Playing small doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve your family, your community, or the world. It may feel easier. It may even look like humility. But hiding your gifts is not humility. It's fear in disguise. You are given talents, ideas, insights, and energy that are not meant to be buried. You are meant to create, lead, inspire, build, and shine. You were designed for expansion, not limitation. When you choose to play small, you build a life around safety instead of significance. You say no to possibilities before they even have a chance to show you what could be. You avoid risk and call it wisdom. You silence your voice and call it maturity. But deep down, you know you're meant for more. You can feel it when you see others step into their calling. You feel it when you look at your dreams and wonder why you haven't pursued them. You feel it in the quiet moments when you're alone with your thoughts and that gentle ache rises, reminding you of what you've put on hold. The world needs people who are awake to their power, people who are bold enough to be themselves, people who refuse to settle for survival when they were made to thrive. You have ideas worth pursuing, stories worth telling, and a voice worth hearing. You weren't born to play the background of your own life. There is a version of you that exists beyond fear and hesitation, a version that is confident, clear, and courageous. That version isn't a fantasy. It's the real you, waiting for permission to emerge. And the only one who can give that permission is you. You are not born to play small because your life is not small. Your influence, your presence, your ability to impact others is far greater than you know. The moment you begin to honor the magnitude of who you are is the moment you begin to change everything.